Welcome back, riders. We're here at Six Flags Great America to kick off my 1,000 subscribers celebration with a Q&A. So before we get into the nitty-gritty, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Seriously, you know, my friends just kind of wanted me to start this channel. Like, Dan, you should start a YouTube channel or like a blog or something. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it for you guys. And I never figured so many of you guys would tune in. So thank you. Seriously, all the subs, likes, comments. It means a lot, especially the comments. I like interacting with you guys, and you know, I've been having fun with this. It's been a fun thing to do on the side, so I really appreciate that. So when I did hit 1,000 subs, I put some feelers out, and you guys want to see a Q&A. And then for a couple weeks, I fielded a lot of Q&A questions, so I got all the Q&A questions now. But a small twist, at least in my version. So kind of while I was preparing this Q&A, I realized I'm going to be going to a ton of parks. So what I'm trying to do is, as best as I can't for every single question, but as much as I can, I'm going to try to tie in the question with like a location of where I film the question and answer. So I guess you'll see what that means. But yeah, thank you guys again so much, and let's kick off this Q&A. Alrighty, now I'm back at Six Flags America Atlanta. I'm outside here, Air Force One, of course. Uncle Nate asked, what coaster would I add to both Six Flags Great America and Kings Island? And this was ridiculously hard for me, so I'm going to give you two for each. So for Great America, we're going to go with the B&M Giga, and then that's kind of like the Wish unrealistic, and then somewhat realistic, I would probably say the B&M Dive. And then I have a whole video if you want to watch that in the corner. Kings Island. This is a tough one. So the reason I chose to film this location here is because I think they would benefit from an RMC. They are kind of lacking in ejector airtime, so I think that would fill a gap there, but they also need a more modern launch coaster. So when I think of that, I think of a Mach Extreme Spinner, but not the shuttle concept art thing, like a full-fledged one. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I'm here outside of Mr. Freeze, Six Flags over Texas. First time at this park for me. Hawk Vandale asked, what coaster do I wish ran backwards, that I could ride backwards? So for this, I decided to go to my top 25, or, you know, just my ranking, start at the top and then work my way down to something that I feel like wouldn't kill me if it ran backwards. And I've settled in at my number 5, which is Conda at Wallaby, Belgium. I bet you were expecting that answer, but that drop backwards would be absolutely nuts. And, you know, DC rivals exist, so like we know it can be done. And then, you know, I just feel like the ride isn't super crazy enough to where it would kill me going backwards. The restraints are beautiful. It's super re-rideable. So I think, you know, over my top 4, Conda would be more suitable to be backwards. But that's just my opinion. Alrighty, let's start off the Q&A. Sticking at the home park or outside here, Demon. FYI, I will try to read the questions as best as I can off of memory, but I don't have like 2 devices to read it off. But first question we're going to go into is Thrills Have a Beard, aka Phil, longtime friend, supporter. He asked, you know, what's a ride that isn't necessarily great, but I still love and adore and always ride? And you could call it a home park bias, I guess, but this one didn't take long. I'm picking the Demon here. You know, some people just hate arrows. Here comes Demon right now, actually. Whoa. Some people aren't a big fan of Arrow, and I get it, but there's something about this ride. It's got character. I love it, and I'm willing to admit there's many better rides here at this park, but this is still absolutely one of my favorites, and I always ride it when I'm here. You know, last year when I went down for like over half the year, like there are better rides that I would have rather have gone down, maybe like V2 or I don't know, Superman or something, but this is where it's at. I love it, the song, and I think it's a great ride. It's got the drop, good airtime. I missed the rocks, but the loops are still dope. The tunnel lights, classic. Even though it's not working right now, the audio going into the tunnel, and sometimes I got smoke for like Fright Fest and stuff. And speaking of Fright Fest, this coaster just comes alive during Fright Fest. So I've rambled on enough. I love this thing, and I hope they don't get rid of it. Alrighty, I'm still at Kentucky Kingdom here. I'm in the cinnamon bread restaurant. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this, but my mom, hi Mom, she asked what my favorite food is, and I would say for like a sweet, I would specifically say Dollywood cinnamon bread, but this is as close as I can get for at least while I'm filming this Q&A. And then for like an entree or something, I really like probably Farmhouse is my favorite, Cedar Point. I just love steak and potatoes. I'm that kind of guy. So yeah, those are my picks. Alrighty, I'm here outside of Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, here for Roller Coaster Rodeo. Freaking reviews. Thank you for the comment, I appreciate it, and thanks for stumbling upon my channel, I suppose. So what is my most favorite and least favorite aspect of video creation, YouTube channel, that kind of thing? So I would say my least favorite, at least right now, is the YouTube Shorts, to be honest, which honestly is kind of like more so the more popular part of my channel right now. But I'm posting 3 a day right now, and sometimes it just kind of gets in the way of like everyday life. And right now the channel is just kind of more like a hobby thing rather than like a job. I'm not gonna be quitting my job or anything like that, but just if I feel like I'm spending too much time, then it gets a little, you know what I mean. So I want to dial that back at some point, but the problem with that is I have a huge bank of videos I can post, and I feel like the only thing I can do is to try to post 3 a day right now so that I can try to trim it down, and then later on it won't be so overbearing. So that's my least favorite right now, but even that, a short doesn't take, at least of my quality, which is basically no editing or anything. They don't take that long at all, at least, so that's good. My most favorite, honestly, believe it or not, it's just scripted videos. I know the vlogs are a lot more relevant on the channel. They're just a lot easier to film and edit. I just throw it in iMovie, pretty much. But they're just a lot easier to get out. But when I made the Six Flags Great America, 2026 coasters video, or, my rankings and stuff, I like, typing out the scripts and getting the pictures together and stuff. So I know they're less frequent, and I promise they will become more frequent in the winter time, or at least when I'm not traveling so crazy like I have been the last month. They will be back. But yeah, I would say that's my most favorite. So that's an interesting question. Thank you. Alrighty, I'm here, Hollywood Nights. I'm soaking wet. It's very rainy. With the coasters, I'm assuming Dylan, thanks for the comment, asked me back row Byron, either Top Throw 2 or Maverick. And that's a toughie. I've only done Top Throw 2 once, and it's broke. So I'm gonna go Maverick just because it's my favorite. I miss seeing them there. So hopefully I'll catch them there some other time this year. Alrighty, I'm back here at Kings Island outside of Mystic Timbers. Carla Collins, AKA Small Town Coaster Girl. Miss you. Had a ton of fun at Indiana Beach weekend. It was a ton of fun. It was a blast. Wants to know my top 5 wooden roller coasters. Number 5, we're going with Ghost Rider, Knott's Berry Farm. Number 4, we are going with Wodan Timber Coaster, Europa Park. Number 3, this one right here, Mystic Timbers, Kings Island. Number 2, I'm going with Gold Striker, California's Great America. And then number 1, right now, it used to be Lightning Run at Dollywood, but since that's no longer a wooden coaster, I got Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. So I think that is a very beatable coaster. I think there is a wooden coaster that's either out there or could be built that I like more. But as of right now, that's my top 5. All right, I'm here outside Texas Stingray, SeaWorld San Antonio. So Thrills have a beard, Phil. Shout out, Phil. This is actually one of my favorite questions I got. So, he asked, considering where other parks are, where would I put Clark Park? There goes Texas Stingray. So, little background, Clark Park is a make-believe park where pretty much any inefficient thing I see at parks, I'm like, oh, at Clark Park, we're gonna do this instead, or Clark Park's gonna do this or that. So in a, kind of like in a perfect world, Clark Park is a perfect park for enthusiasts. So there's a lot of answers to this question. Where would I put Clark Park? So I think, Phil is asking logistically what makes the most economical sense. Well, I got to spin the question a little bit. So I would put Clark Park, one option would be Chicago, obviously, because that's where I'm from. Stay close to home. And, that makes no sense because Great America's there, but, Clark Park's Clark Park, so I could put it there if I want. Then another option I really like the area of Dollywood. Obviously can't compete with Dollywood either, but that is like my perfect environment. Like, I want a park that is open like 9-10 months out of the year. I still want an off season because I want to do all my off season projects in the off season. I don't want like construction zones and stuff like that that impacts guest experience. And I really love the mountains and like just Smoky Mountains as a whole. So that's another option. But one idea I had, this is, you know, not gonna make any sense at all, but Clark Park I've also thrown around. I just hate the weather. I hate the sun. I mean, you could tell with my blister. I hate the sun. I hate sweating and stuff. So I've always thrown around the idea that Clark Park's just gonna be fully indoors. Like, you're gonna have like, you know, windows, you know, a ceiling that like still lets in natural light, but like you're gonna have AC and stuff in there, no rain. It's gonna be so nice. So if a park like that were to exist, I think it's pretty obvious. I would probably, maybe not obvious, but I would choose Phoenix. I love Phoenix. I go there often with family there. So I'm picking Phoenix for that. Now, obviously, like a fully indoor park, the scale of Clark Park would make no sense there. But, you know, it's so hard to pass up. I would totally want to do that. So I don't feel like I'm properly asking the question. You know, obviously there's a lot of videos out there that are like, oh, these cities need an amusement park, and Phoenix is one of them. Obviously they would never get, you know, like a 300+ acre indoor amusement park like Clark Park, but those are kind of like my 3 ideas I'm throwing around. Alrighty, I'm here at Indiana Beach outside All-American Triple Loop new for 2024 with an asterisk, I guess. Jacob Anderson, my good college buddy, used to play him in the post in basketball. He wants to know what's the sketchiest coaster I've been on, and if you can't tell, I'm probably picking this. Now, I feel like sketchy is not exactly the right word, but words can't describe what riding this coaster feels like. Just with all the history of both the coaster and the trains, like separate histories of those combined, and riding this, so old, and this ride is just something. Like I said, like I feel fine riding this even after the rollback, but it's like, I don't know.
Alrighty, now I'm here outside of Dare Double Dive here at Six Flags Over Georgia. We the coasters asked any tips for beginners for separators. So separator is actually a position I never held. I have never worked in rides, so you're not getting like first-hand experience in this answer, but I was kind of thinking about it, and I think the best advice I would give is to start small. So not specifically a Eurofighter, but you know, this only sits 6 people, so just kind of get your feet wet, start small, and work your way up. Don't just go straight to Velocicoaster where you're dispatching every minute, you know, with all those seats. Start small with something like this, or maybe a ride like Georgia Scorcher, which is right over there. You know, maybe they have more seats, so you could start asking for single riders or like groups of 3 and stuff, but the operations are still slow, so you don't have to go. Obviously, it's kind of hard to move ride to ride, at least I think. So I don't know, but that's kind of what I think of. Here's a drop for you guys. Bonus B-roll. All right, I'm here at Roller Coaster Rodeo, Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, doing the Spaghetti Bowl tour for Poltergeist. My ex-co-worker, Ben, shout out Ben, he's asking me double chocolate chip or green beans. So there's some context behind this. So at Cedar Point, I would eat just a can of green beans, not even cooked, just straight out the can, nearly every single day. I do that a lot. I feel like you're gonna roast me for that, but I do that a lot. And then also at Cedar Point, we were actually able to get Starbucks very often, and my usual order was a double chocolate chip frappuccino with extra whipped cream. I learned that from Cedar Point. If I had to pick one, that's tough. Obviously, the double chocolate chip is just so much better, but it's so much more expensive. So I think I have to go green beans here. Just economically, I feel like that's the right answer, unfortunately. And I chose green because Poltergeist green beans, I guess. All right, I'm back at Six Flags Great America. Here we got Demon. Mr. Jake Youthy, if you don't know him, he's my GP friend. We did Dollywood together. We got a video up of us ranking all the coasters there and a travel vlog. He asked what's the best video, or like my favorite video I've made so far. And I feel like this is a trap. You want me to say the videos where you're in the video. So that's my answer, so I don't make you mad. But the real answer is my big hour and 45-minute video for Six Flags Great America, where I talk about potential replacement for a Demon, even though I don't want that to happen. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The time I poured in that video was nuts, but it was so much fun. And then to see how well the video has done and is still doing. It's still doing great. It's shocking because it's like, oh, I put out like a documentary almost. Like super low quality, but everyone loves it, and I had a great time making it. So I definitely want to make another video like that, akin to that, and I have an idea in mind, but I'm just so busy right now with traveling and work and stuff, so probably more an off-season project. But yeah, right now, Six Flags Great America Future Coasters video is my favorite. Alrighty, I am outside a Copperhead Strike out at Carowinds. Alex Bowers asked, what is my favorite type of inversion? So excluding like specific instances, if we're talking more broadly, I would say definitely one of the top ones is the B&M invert, or really any, at least old school B&M, 0G roll. Those always get me. And then a little more broadly, kind of like this one right here, any slow inversion that induces a lot of hang time. So maybe like the wing coasters, inline twist, or JoJo rolls, inversions like that kind of get me too. I love those. So those are my top two-ish, broadly speaking. All right, I'm here, Six Flags Over Texas, outside of New Texas Giant. I'm here at my good buddy Luke Hanley's home park, actually. Fortunately, he couldn't come with me today, man. I miss you. He's wondering, he's wondering when I'm going to give the beard another chance. The goatee's fine, but wants me to give the beard another shot. And to that, I don't know. As much as I would like a beard, I think a beard kind of would be final form. Whenever I try to grow it out, it gets patchy right there and there. So I don't know. And it's always hard, you know, when you're working too. Like, that's that awkward growing out phase. Like, you still have to go on to work and be presentable and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe one time. If I could get like another vacation where I'm not in the office for a couple of weeks, maybe I'll give it another go. But which is actually right now. So maybe I won't because I haven't. But yeah, I'd like to give it another try with like a beard, but I just think whenever I try to grow it out, it don't look right. It's kind of sad. So, but yeah, I appreciate the message, man, and I miss you here. Alrighty, now I'm here at Fun Spot America Atlanta. I just did a mini marathon on Air Force One, 8 rides, 9 rides, so good. Amy, my old coworker from Cedar Point, said, "Why are you such a cool cat? Miss you too. Hopefully, whenever I'm back in Sandusky, I'd love to see you. Obviously, miss you." The reason why I'm doing it here at Fun Spot America, you didn't think I could tie this in, but I did. Here we got the flying scooters. And if you know Fun Spot Kissimmee, they got the cat there. Bumper. Thank you, Matt Ward. I had to call him. I was like, what's the name of the cat? Bumper. So obviously this is not Fun Spot Kissimmee, but this is as close as I could get. So yeah, here's it's a fun spot. I tried. All right, I'm here outside in the parking lot of Holiday World, outside the Raven. Cedar Kev asked, what's some things I do outside of amusement parks? So probably the biggest thing I would say in my life is part of the reason why I'm in this parking lot right now is because I just won the 3-point challenge here at Holiday World. So my prize is getting college I don't care for at all, and I'll have to go drop it off in the car because I don't want to carry it all day. But I'm big into college basketball, Kansas Jayhawks fan. I love watching college basketball, and I play basketball when I can, more so in the warmer months outside. But yeah, I love that. In general, believe it or not, I exercise every single day. It doesn't exactly look like it. I don't eat the part per se, but I've exercised over 60 minutes and 1,000 active calories on my Apple Watch for over 500 days in a row now. So there's that. I spend time with my family. Yeah, those are kind of the big things. Just kind of, I work. I guess I should say that. I have a full-time job that is not YouTube. So, that's where a lot of my time goes for that. I'm an auditor, if you were wondering. Kind of have a finance background, accounting background. So, yeah, those are probably the big things that I do in my life outside of amusement parks and roller coasters. And here's Raven for you guys. See if I can get this drop for you guys in the background. Whoa. So yeah, like I said, fun fact, I went to Indiana Kansas basketball game. I'm just kind of rambling now, but I actually picked this. I'm going to give this to my friend who is a Hoosier fan. It's actually Mr. Jake Youthy, if you guys remember him from my Dollywood video and stuff, and he's asked a couple questions in this video. So yeah, gotta go bring this to the car now because I don't want to carry it. I don't want to deal with it at Hollywood Nights. So yeah, all right, that's enough for this question. Back here again at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, just walking around right now. So my ex-coworker, yet another ex-coworker, Cameron Thomas, said congrats on 1,000 subs, so thank you. And actually, as of filming today, I hit
1500. So I guess that means this Q&A should be wrapped up pretty soon, I guess. But thank you to everyone, and thanks, Cam. He wants to know like how I get the best value for my season passes, and this is an interesting question because right now I have a season pass for a lot of things, but I wouldn't say I really do anything to like make sure I'm saving money per se. Like, you know, I have a Six Flags pass and a Cedar Fair pass, and I just kind of do whatever itinerary I want. As long as I figure out I'm going to break even, I'm going to buy the season pass. But after that, I don't think I really do anything to like make sure I get the most value. But something related that I want to add, I would say for saving money, I think that really comes into like hotels and driving and stuff like that. I think that's where a lot of the cost, I mean, that's where most of the cost comes in after buying passes. So for me, like, you know, try to do road trips with other people so you split, or like even Cam knows, like I stay at your place for free, of which I'm very grateful for, but like, you know, try to crash at friends' places if you know where they are. Oh, this is pretty. So, you know, just things like that. I think that's really where the money saving comes in once you get those passes. So kind of redirected the question a little bit, but yeah. Alrighty, now I'm here at Six Flags Over Georgia outside Goliath, the B&M Hyper. So Phil, Throws Have a Beard, he asked me to rank all my traditional hyper coasters. So the criteria is a height and or drop of 200 to 299.999999 feet. I'm going to be completely honest. Today, I ranked all of my traditional hyper coasters. There's 19 of them, and I wrote them on a Post-it note because I knew I wouldn't be able to list them off on my head, and I forgot it in the car. So I'll do my top 5. Number 5 is Nitro, Six Flags Great Adventure. Number 4 is Diamondback at Kings Island. Number 3 is Behemoth at Canada's Wonderland. Number 2 is this one, Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia. And then number 1, Sky Rush. So I kind of like how I did that one. I would be interested in making a full-length video for that someday. 19's a lot, and I'm actually getting on Titan for Texas in like a week. So that'll make it 20. So that's a nice number to do that video someday, hopefully. Alrighty, I forgot to mention one thing, and I realized something else. So I forgot to mention that these are coasters. The criteria is no inversion. So a ride like Animal that is between 200 and 299 but has inversions did not make the cut. And then I realized I could just go with the car and list them off. So you already know 1 through 5. I'll start at the bottom of 19. No explanation. And again, I just made these rankings today, and I already flipped some around. Compared to like 25 days of coasters when I ranked then. So don't read in too much, and I'm still interested in doing a video. But all right, here we go. Wild Thing at Valley Fair, 19. 18, Goliath, Six Flags, Magic Mountain. 17, Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America. 16, Superman The Ride at SFNE. Might get some slack for that. 15, am I on 15? Forget the numbers. I'm just gonna keep going. Steel Force at Dorney Park. Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America. I got to flip now because there's so many. Apollo's Chariot, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Candemonium at Hershey Park. Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point. Intimidator at Carowinds / Thunder Striker. I'm actually going to be riding that in 2 days. Mako, SeaWorld Orlando, Phantom's Revenge. Kennywood, Silver Star, Europa Park, the lone Europe representative, or European. And then the runner-up for the top 5 was Superman El Ultimo Escape at Six Flags Mexico. All right, I'm here outside the Eiffel Tower, except not in Paris. I'm at Mason, Ohio. This is a replica. Here at Kings Island. Coaster Kev, good buddy of mine, hope California's treating you well. He asked, what's my favorite park I've visited? It's this one, Kings Island. It's tough. I think Europa's there, Fantasialand's there, and Islands of Adventure, and obviously Cedar Point, like, including Kings Island. I would say those are my top 5. It's like pulling teeth, but there's just something about my mood when I'm at this park. I always love my time at Kings Island. I always have a great time here. Literally, I've never had a bad day here, and I've been here like 30 days at this point or something like that. So I'm picking this, but there's definitely some close runner-ups for sure. Alrighty, we're heading out of SeaWorld San Antonio for the night. Got a question from my father, my dad. Hello, Dad. He's wondering how many air miles I get. So yeah, I travel a ton, obviously. all of it's not personal. I do travel for work too, so I get miles from that too. And I have a credit card that also gives me miles. So I don't have a concrete number, but it is a decent amount. Usually through Southwest, I get like 2 or 3 free, like with points, 1 leg trips. So like 1.5 round trips if you want to calculate it like that. So however many miles that is, that's roughly what we're looking at. All right, I'm here at Kentucky Kingdom outside of Lightning Run. We the coasters asked, what's the biggest thing I've learned from like working at an amusement park versus just being a guest? And you know, there's so many things I've learned, and even myself, like I was kind of more behind the scenes. I wasn't so much like frontline, like ride operator or, you know, interacting with guests 24/7. But I would say the biggest thing I've learned is patience, really. Like as a guest, I think employees, you gotta be patient. You gotta have some more patience with them. I just think, like, you know, it takes time for people to learn things and to get efficient at things. So like, especially when you're at parks early in the season, kind of cut them on break. That's what I would say I've learned the most.
All right, we're here at Six Flags Great America outside the Joker. So Oregon coaster enthusiast, shout out Brennan. Haven't seen you in a while. Miss you, buddy. He asked me the history of my #1 roller coaster, both as an enthusiast and kind of when I was GP. So the reason I'm starting the video here at the Joker is because my first favorite roller coaster ride, #1, when I was GP, was Rage and Cajun, which used to stand on this plot of land where Joker is now, and this, I don't even know, that walkway. That's where Rage and Cajun, excuse me, used to stand, and that was my favorite growing up. Revolution Spinner, now it's at Six Flags America, so I guess you guys can still ride it if you want. After that, I would say I didn't really have another #1 until I rode Outlaw Run in 2013. That's kind of what sparked being an enthusiast. So once I bet on that, kind of by default, because that was by far the biggest roller coaster I'd ever bet on up until that point. After that, in the spring of 2014, I rode X2, and that was my favorite roller coaster all the way until 2021. And that's kind of funny because I didn't ride anything else that I liked more than V2. What I ended up having, or V2, excuse me, V2s over here, X2. I didn't ride anything that I preferred over X2. I ended up riding X2 again, and I was like, oh no. I was like, that is not my #1 anymore. So my #2 at the time was a Maverick, so I bumped Maverick up to #1, and that's how it's been since. So not too complicated of a history with #1. I'm here at Crack Axle Canyon, Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. We have Uncle Nate. He asked me what is my worst park experience. So I picked to do this video at Fiesta, Texas because this is notoriously one of the best parks, one of the best experiences out there. I think this answer was very easy and obvious for me for worst park experience, and that has to be Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Now, I mean, the whole day was influenced by the rain, but the way they handled the rain was just absolutely awful. Like, it was a very, very, very slight mist, and they closed Joker and Flash and Superman and Kong. Like, I got 3 credits there out of 10, I think they have. It was just, I mean, they gave us tickets to come back, but like for me, you know, coming from Chicago, going all that way, like this rain, more like a mist, like everything would have been open at Cedar Point, you know, like everything would have been open at these other parks. Maybe 1 or 2 shut down. Okay, fine, whatever, if you're super sensitive, but it was like damn near everything. And just coming for so far, I only have 1 day. That was such an epic fail. Great America, California's Great America, was somewhat similar, but at least they had more open. Just kind of my time in North Cal as a whole. But if I had to choose one park specifically, it has to be Discovery Kingdom. All right, I'm outside of Diamondback here at Kings Island, my favorite. Mr. Jake Youthy, splashdown, dope. Mr. Jake Youthy, my GP friend, wants to know how to get out of the GP zone. And I kind of have 2 words of advice for you. So you've kind of tackled like the middle tier size park in Six Flags St. Louis. And then you did Dollywood, which is like the more well-rounded park. I think it's time you need to explore like a high thrill big park. So I would say that'd be like Kings Island here, Cedar Point, maybe throw in like something like Hershey Park. I think that's your next step, at least one of your next steps. And then 2, you know, it's one thing to like roller coasters and ride them, but I think to be an enthusiast, you got to do a little homework. You got to know your stuff a little bit. And, you don't have to be a master, but you got to know your stuff a little bit, like what's B&M, you know, just stuff like that. But you're off to a good start with that by watching my video. So keep watching, I guess. But yeah, this would be my 2 big next steps for you to get out of the GP zone. But you're still in there. Don't think you're getting out really soon.
All right, I'm here at Switchback. Whoa, there it is. ZDT's outside of San Antonio. Thrills Have a Beard, aka Phil. He wants me to explain what choo-choo bye means, so I chose this ride because it's got like the train kind of thing. So it's the whole push down, pull up, exit to the right. That, you know, that's just kind of standard. Push down, pull up, exit to the right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously, I hope you enjoyed the video. And then go have your greatest day yet. The Go Have Your Greatest Day Yet actually is from Cedar Point. There's a security guard that used to say that every day. For like the associate only security guard, he would scan in. Whoa. And he would tell you to go have your greatest day yet, like every single time. So I just thought like that was kind of like a positive thing to say and honor him, I guess. So I throw that in every video. And then Choo Choo Bye. So Choo Choo Bye is Six Flags Great Adventure, the Zier Tivoli they have, which is like one of my, you know, favorite models. Like I actually do really enjoy it, but obviously it's not super thrilling. But big Zier Tivoli guy. And they send you around twice. Once you go through the circuit the one time, you go through the station and they're like, all right, you're gonna go around one more time, Choo Choo Bye, Choo Choo Bye. And they always say it like super aggressively and stuff. And I don't know, I just thought saying Choo Choo Bye was like a good signature sign off, and it ties into the amusement park industry in some way. So yeah, that's my whole signature sign off. Alrighty, I feel like the video of explaining Choo Choo Bye at ZDT's is the place to end the entire Q&A. So again, thank you all so much for 1,000 subscribers, which as of right now is already at 1,500, which I know I briefly mentioned, but thank you so much. I love interacting with you guys, all the comments. I appreciate it all. So next time, I don't know how it turned out. It felt a little messy on my end, not gonna lie, doing it this way. So if there is a next time, we'll figure out something maybe a little easier and or just something cooler, more polished per se. But again, thank you all so much. If you have any other questions, I guess, either save them for next time, or maybe I'll answer them in the comments or something. We'll see. But again, appreciate everything. And yeah, on to the next milestone. I'm gonna keep pumping out these vlogs, and when the off season comes, I'll kind of maybe not revert back fully, but I'll get back to some scripted stuff. I'll try to sprinkle it in here and there, but just so busy traveling and stuff. So just living in the moment, and that's kind of what the channel is, not taking away too much from the life. So all right, thanks for checking it out. Push up, pull up, exit to the right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Go have your greatest day yet. Choo Choo Bye.